As summer draws to a close and children start heading back to school, family life can get pretty hectic. And it's important to remember to share with your children some key tips that will help keep them safe as well as drivers throughout the school year. So whether children are walking, riding their bicycle, or taking the school bus, it is extremely important that they do take the proper safety precautions. Joining me now is Sergeant Matt Southern. He's the school bus safety coordinator for South Carolina Highway Patrol. He's here talking about all things school safety, especially with school buses. Can you believe we're already talking about back to school?
It's hard to believe, and we've got schools that are actually in already here in South Carolina and are headed back within the next couple weeks here. So it's important that we start getting in that right mindset.
Yeah, we have to get straight to this. So one thing that we have to talk about is, of course, the school bus. Everyone is going to be seeing them down on the roads, but one thing is what this called the danger zone is to a school bus. So can you explain that?
So there's 4 danger zones around a school bus: directly in front of the school bus, directly behind the school bus, and on either side of the school bus. These are all areas considered to be danger zones. And why are they danger zones? They're danger zones because it's hard for the bus driver to be able to see a child if they are in one of these areas. So we think about the front of the bus that has that little gate that comes out on the front. That's called a crossing gate. That keeps a child out of that danger zone. The other thing we want parents to do is to talk to their children about looking at the bus driver, making eye contact if they have to cross the street. That's part of the danger zone too, from passing vehicles that may not stop for that stop arm. Just last school year, over 3,300 reports of violations of people passing a stopped school bus occurred here in South Carolina. So when you see that yellow school bus, anticipate that it's going to have to stop to pick up or drop off kids, and be ready to stop when you see it.
Yeah, and I mean, that's also important too. Who's supposed to stop and when you're supposed to stop, especially when you're going in neighborhoods, right? You're in a regular neighborhood versus you're going in a 2-lane road. So what is the difference, and who is supposed to stop when they see one?
So by South Carolina law, on a 2-lane road, everybody's required to stop if you're approaching the bus from the rear or approaching the bus from the front. The reason behind that, we do have students that are crossing the street in these locations. Where people get confused is what we call our multi-lane highways. So that's 4 or more lanes, or 2 lanes in one direction, 2 lanes in the other direction. If you're traveling the same direction as the school bus, you're required to stop, whereas if you're traveling in the opposite direction, you're not required to stop. And why is that? It's written into state law when a school district designs a bus stop on a multi-lane highway that students can only be picked up or dropped off to the right-hand side. So if the house is over on the left side of the bus, we're not going to require students to cross those 4 lanes of traffic.
Right. Okay, so that means, that's also really helpful too, because not only is it dangerous, but it is also illegal.
It is. It'll cost you $1,062.50. Put 6 points against your driver's license if you do pass a stopped school bus. And while it is illegal, but we're also talking about people's lives. We've had some near misses. We actually had a parent that was hit and killed last year in Kershaw County. So it's very important that when you see that yellow school bus, I always encourage folks, anticipate that it's going to have to stop to pick up and drop off, and be prepared so that you can get stopped as well.
Sergeant Southern, thank you so much for stopping by this morning and really chatting about this. It's incredibly important to make sure that everybody is safe in this conversation. The parents, the students, the bus drivers, and also the drivers as well.